Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And first things first, this review is going up the weekend after I posted my Kat Von D roast. I just wanted to say thank you all to who have subscribed to me in this recent influx, who have commented, shared their opinion. This is the first time that I've ever had like any major influx all at once. So to all my new subbies out there, thank you so much for becoming a part of the Burp Squad. Although I was talking to my good friend JT and I was like, it's gonna be fun to see how many subscribers I lose when I start just posting regular stuff, because not everything is a roast. And let me tell you, YouTube and the internet and the beauty community love the negativity, and not everything on my channel is negative. So if you are here for nothing but negativity, now would be a good time to unsubscribe, but please don't, because it makes me happy inside. Today we are going to be discussing the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. Now this was a palette that like it released on Urban Decay and I was like, oh, do I want to get it? The shades look really nice. Do I want to review it? So this review is coming a little bit later than when I would normally do a review of a new release. I honestly waited until mine hit Ulta and then I used points to get it. So here we are. This is the newest installment in the Urban Decay Naked palette line. As we all know, they have sadly discontinued the original Naked one. This is going to run you, I've seen it, I'm pretty sure I saw it for $49, but for some reason I thought their palettes ran for $54. I don't know. I will leave it down below for you guys with a link to purchase said palette. I am pretty sure that this bad boy is not a limited edition. You are getting 12 shades. Here is the box. At a 1.1 gram a piece. I will say the packaging is absolutely beautiful. They have gone the way of what originally was like the Naked Smoky, then we did it for the Naked Heat, now we're doing it for the Naked Cherry. It's this really nice, sturdy acrylic. Like, you've got the cherry bit underlay, and then over top, and then the Urban Decay, and the Naked bit is raised. Very nice, very sturdy, shades looking like this. I do appreciate how many mattes they have in this, because I used to be like all about shimmers, and now I really appreciate a palette that has a good ratio of matte and shimmer. But enough of me rambling on. Let us bring you in closer and get to swatching this and then talking about what I feel about the palette. I am wearing it on my peepers today. We started out with this shade Bing, then we went into Devilish, then we went completely into Privacy, and then we did Turn On in the inner eye area. Once again, if I seem like I'm sweating profusely, it's because I am, because I feel like I never realized just how hot these lights were, and as you guys all know, I wig it, and that is like wearing a really heavy hat. Let us go in here with Hot Spot. Then we have, I will say, this is probably the powderiest Urban Decay palette I have ever used. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with their Naked formula, and I don't remember it being this powdery. That one is Caution. Then we have Bang Bang, which is a beautiful peachy shimmer. Here we have there. Next up is Feels Juicy and Turn On, that shade that I have all up in here going on. And I will admit, these shimmers don't feel hideously smooth. I feel like my favorite shimmer formula is definitely the Anastasia Beverly Hills, but these, they feel just a little bit coarser than I'm used to. Then we have Ambitious right here, Bing, and Devilish. Going on right like that. Gotta keep everything in. Ooh, look at that one. Hello. we go here, and what the, oh, I missed one. And here, looking like that. Then last but not least, we've got Young Love, which is probably the smoothest feeling out of the shimmers. Drunk Dial is also smooth. These three up here just feel a lot coarser. And then Privacy. So here we go on our last three. Gotta be in frame. And there we are. We got all the shades going on right here. Just a very red, kind of smoky, even a little bit peachy up in here. Shade combination, which you all know that I pretty much live for because I love red and pinks and berries on my eyes because I like how they look and they can make me look dead, which I am okay with. Okay, so starting off, this palette is very much obviously for those of us who really enjoyed the Naked 3, which was that very beautiful, soft, rosy pink tones. And for those of us who kind of want the Naked 3 jacked and on steroids, because this palette takes those more subtle pink tones and brings them into a much more vibrant color spectrum. As I said during my swatches, the mattes are definitely not the softest mattes that I've ever felt, but honestly, I kind of don't feel like finger swatches being like, oh, they don't feel so good, isn't necessarily the best way to be like, oh, if it feels like this, it's not going to work well on the eyes, if you know what I mean. The best shimmers out of the palette are definitely the Young Love and Drunk Dial, as they're the most pigmented. They are the smoothest feeling, and they're also, I feel, the most pigmented, the way I judge a shimmer. Let's just bring this out. The way I judge a shimmer is I do all shimmer looks all the time. I'll put whatever I want up in the crease or up in the whatever, and I judge a shimmer on how it works in that area right there. Is it gonna flake off? Is it gonna fade? Is it gonna whatever? These performed beautifully in that department. These two also, this one kind of, it's a little bit lighter, so there is that to take into consideration. The mattes, although powdery, are very pigmented, and I did have absolutely no problem blending them out. Like, I'd like to think I'm pretty good blended here. I'm not, you know, no Pat McGrath, Nikki Tutorials, or Natasha Denona, but for my little humble self, I think I did pretty good. Obviously, the color selection is something that I am very drawn to. This is not everyone's cup of tea because not everyone likes the reds and the pinks on the eyes, because depending on your skin tone, they can make you look a little sick, a little jaundice. But for me, this color spectrum is absolutely perfect, except for the Hot Spot and Caution, because I don't really ever do a setting shade. So when I see shades like this, I'm like, well, those could have been replaced with something a lot more fun. But all in all, I am very impressed with the quality. I haven't been purchasing a lot of Urban Decay because a lot of it just hasn't been appealing to me. I feel like because this is probably, I will, like I said, say down below, I don't want to say it and then be wrong, probably a permanent palette, the quality consistency is better than, say, something that would have been released that was just a limited edition holiday palette. So this is something that I absolutely enjoyed. The way that I feel about Fallout, if Fallout is an issue for you, what I do is I literally tap my brush in, and then I don't worry about the fallout, because then when I want more of that shade, I'll just gently dip it on the pan and pick up the fallout that was created. I mean, that's how I roll when it comes to fallout, and I do with any palette that has fallout, so it's not a problem for me. I think it's a very nice fall transitioning into winter palette as well, because you have these beautiful, just like that whole like vibe of like that flushed cheeks, the Snow White, the coming in from the storm, and you just look rosy and beautiful and awesome. I think it is just very well thought out. I'm impressed by the quality. I think it performs well. I enjoy the ratio of matte to shimmers, because Urban Decay in their Naked palettes are notorious for giving us a crap ton of shimmers, which is okay, but I feel the backbone of a palette is built on its mattes, which this one has a good selection of, and the quality of mattes are very nice to work with. So I know that was a bit of a shorter review than I usually do, but there really isn't much more to say about this. Kind of like with every palette that's released, if it's a color spectrum that you are interested in, if you like the Urban Decay formula, I would say this is a palette you should get. I don't think you're going to be disappointed in the quality. These shades perform very well. They look nice. I've worn every shade in this palette. I don't have an issue with creasing or fading or anything like that. So this one is definitely a yeah from moi. Alright guys, there was that review. Sorry for it coming to you kind of like a little bit late after the bandwagon, but I can't buy everything when it comes out immediately. I do kind of have to hem and haw, believe it or not. But ultimately, this is one that I am very glad that I picked up because I've used it in a multitude of ways, going from like a little bit peachy and delicate. I can go very brown and neutral bronzy, and then we can just amp it up with all them reds and them cherry shades that I love. If you have this palette, definitely let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. If you have absolutely no intention of buying it and why, I love hearing your guys' opinions on all the makeup that I talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!